Alrighty, the time is 11:38 p.m. BST on the 8th of October 2024. My name's Detective Casanova with the State CID, badge number 4 Whiskey 8. I'm here with ADA Sadi Kai. We're speaking with Rowan Robinson today. Rowan, just formalities first. You've got the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you in the court of law. You've got the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you by the state if available, and you've also got the right to a bench trial. Okay?
Okay.
Alrighty. So, I just want to ask you a couple of questions about an incident that happened yesterday at Bolingbroke, or outside of Bolingbroke.
hmm
In your own words, can you give me a rundown of what actually happened yesterday?
Yeah. So me and Easton Staymates were uh having a angry discussion back and forth between the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Mostly just in regards to uh you know uh I'm somebody who believes he solves his problem with violence, and I was upset with him for doing that. And I was arguing with him that that's not the solution, that there's other ways to solve your problems. So we were in this back and forth over that subject. It got very heated. Uh, I'm not gonna lie, I did, yell a lot, and he yelled a lot. At one point, uh, you know, we were both outside. I told them to leave. They asked me to move. I was just standing, in the walkway, not in their way, not stopping them or anything. But they wanted me to move, and I made it a point not to. Um, so I told them I wasn't going to. Told them if they wanted to walk away, they could. Just I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right where I am. They kept on that point for quite a bit. Eventually, they decided to leave. Easton went to his car, which was in the parking lot, not too far away from where I was. I thought they were going to go, but Easton went to the back of his trunk of that car, produced a bat. Um, I told him that this isn't going to fix anything, and to put it away. He came towards me with the bat. Uh, I once again reiterated the same point that this won't fix anything. This isn't a solution. Put away the bat. It's that moment that he hit me over the head with the bat, and I do not remember anything else from that point. I was unconscious. I don't have any recollection of anything.
Okay. And what is the next thing you remember?
Next thing I remember is waking up in the ICU,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and doctors kind of giving me a rundown of what happened. That I had been shot, that I had been hit over the head with a bat, um, but that nothing was too major, luckily.
Okay, and have you reached out to any of the people involved?
Um, I have not spoken to Easton.
Mm-hmm.
Dahlia was present for this conversation. She wasn't really engaged. I mean, she said a couple of comments here and there, but it's mostly a me and Easton conversation, and she was just trying to keep the peace. But I had spoken to Dahlia,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and about the situation, and Dahlia did later inform me that she had shot me.
That she had shot you?
Uh, that is what Dahlia told me. Yes.
Okay. Um, and what was your reaction to that?
I've known Dahlia for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she's one of my closest friends, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't believe her at first. I thought maybe she was making that up, um, to cover for Easton. But as she, continued to reiterate that it was the truth, she was very emotional about it, and I eventually, believed her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's very out of character for her. It's not something I would have ever considered her to do in a million years, so it's still kind of a little bit shocking for me to
Mm-hmm.
hear it. It's just not something she would normally do. Um, yeah.
Okay. Um, and did she say why she shot you?
Um, I asked her. She said uh, She was in tears for most of this, but she said she didn't know,
Okay.
and that she regretted it.
Okay. Sadi, do you have any questions?
So let me ask you this: has their lawyer reached out to you?
Mr. Dupont reached out to me about like maybe 5 minutes before I came here.
And what did he say?
Mr. Dupont asked me, if I, you know, if I wanted to speak on Dolly's behalf or anything like that. I said I'm still thinking about it. I'll let him know. I'm still kind of absorbing information from what happened. A lot of it I was unconscious for, so I'm still trying to piece it together.
Do you want us to ask him to stop reaching out to you?
No, that's okay. He hasn't been obsessive with it or aggressive at any means.
Okay.
He seems to respect my privacy. If that changes, I'll let you know.
Do you are you at all in fear of anything right now from Dahlia or Easton?
No, I'm not. Especially not Dahlia. Yeah, but I don't fear my life for either of them at this point.
And you've never known of anything that Dahlia may have done criminally? I'm not asking you to but
No, of course.
I'm just kind of asking, your thoughts of her prior to this, of known association, of course, with Easton, and we all know who Easton is.
Right.
Does he seem like he's a big presence in her life? Like she would do something for him even if it was bad, or would she say no? How do you...
Yeah, no. I think Dahlia, even though the two of them are married, has always been a very independent person. I've often seen her be the one to kind of help try and guide Easton towards a more reasonable solution, and I have seen her stand up to him numerous times. She does not strike me as the kind of person that would do something for him just because, or because he asked her to, or anything like that. Again, I've known Dahlia for a long time, most of that time being doctors together. So it's been a very professional kind of point of view. We've been friends outside of that as well. But yeah, Dahlia has never done anything of this nature. I actually don't believe she's ever hurt somebody before to this point. She's not the kind of person to do something like that for as long as I've known her. She's actually somebody who typically despises violent solutions. So it does come as quite a shock to hear what happened, but it's very out of character for her.
Is there any... has she voiced any dislike of you recently, or...
There was an incident probably about a week ago now, involving somebody that was close to Easton, Sasha Phillips, an incident which I was arrested for yesterday, and that's why I was at the jail, was for that same incident. There was an altercation between me and Sasha, and again, Sasha is very, very, very close with Easton, and I, hurt Sasha. So there was a lot of people upset with me because of that, and in my point of view, rightfully so. That's what initially started this talk between me and Easton. Yeah.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. How about you?
No, I am good with questions.
Okay. Now, the reason that we're asking you all of this is because the lawyer is asking us to potentially offer her the Sloan Amendment. Do you know what the Sloan Amendment is?
I do. Yeah, it was mentioned to me yesterday.
Okay. So we're struggling with this, right? So we're asking, people that were involved, we're asking doctors to give us their, thoughts on it. What would your thought on us potentially, we're not saying we're doing it, but potentially, if she did get the Sloan Amendment, would that be something that you would be against, or would you need time to think about that?
That definitely wouldn't be something that I'm against. it actually something that I'm probably for. I'm a strong believer that people make mistakes and they make really horrible mistakes. And yes, there should be consequences, but I believe that this is so egregiously out of character for Dahlia and something that I don't think she would ever do again. I know, I already know from our one conversation how much it's eating up at her that I don't believe it's something that should be pushed further than it has to. And that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I, I, I just don't believe that would be beneficial to anybody involved. I
Do
think
you believe she's detrimental to the hospital as a doctor?
I do not. I actually think she's one of the best doctors at that hospital. From just my own observation of her and working
Mm-hmm.
alongside her.
Okay. All right, I don't have any more. Amelia?
No further questions from me. Alrighty, the time is 11:49 p.m. BST on the 8th of October 2024. We're going to conclude the interview.